Welcome to our Communiversity today, sponsored by Pendleton Community Bank and Cucumber and Company, a community affairs program from West Virginia Institute of Technology in Beckley, hosted by Dr. T. Ramon Stewart, president of West Virginia University Institute of Technology, working to make a difference in Southern West Virginia. Guest opinions expressed on this program may not represent the opinions of West Virginia University Institute of Technology, Southern Communications, or its sponsors. And now, with today's program, here's Dr. Stewart.
Welcome to our Communiversity today. I'm Dr. Ramon Stewart, president of WVU Tech here in Beckley. And I'm thankful that you chose to be with us today as we explore our Communiversity. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you all the time that I believe that the community is the university and the university is the community. And I think that's so important because when you think about the notion of Communiversity, what better way to explain it than exploring what we call in higher education, town and gown relationships. And that's simply how a town works with a college or university to make sure that all people are integrated, educated, elevated in a manner that allows all ships to rise with the tide. And today we're going to talk about one of those key elements, and that's the different events that go on in this city. And one of the big things about that is we look to elevate people. Having a well-rounded, well-cultured group of people is essential for us to not only diversify our thoughts, but also be inclusive of others in the process. And so today we have Trish Morgan, who's the new event director for the City of Beckley, and she's going to tell us more about this topic of integration with events. And as always, our goal on our Communiversity today is to ask and answer two questions. Simply, why not us and why not now? So right after this break, we'll be back with more our Communiversity today on News Talk WWNR.
Bank with purpose and Golden Bear pride. At Pendleton Community Bank, our WVU Tech Affinity debit card does more than make purchases. It makes a difference. Every swipe supports the William Bill Benn Student Success Fund, helping WVU Tech students facing financial hardships stay on track to achieve their dreams. Show your school spirit and help shape the future, one transaction at a time. Visit yourbank.bank to get started today. Pendleton Community Bank, here for students, here for community, here for you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Discover WVU Tech right in your backyard. With 6 ABET accredited engineering programs ranked among the top 100 for engineering and nursing nationwide, WVU Tech offers the best return on investment in West Virginia. Our small, supportive campus is home to high-demand programs in fields like hospitality and culinary, chemical forensics, and the only 4-year construction management degree in West Virginia. Learn more about all the exciting things happening at Tech at wvutech.edu today.
If you want a real cool website, I'll tell you what to do. Call them cats at Cucumber and they'll build a site for you. Our people are so friendly and our updates are the fastest. All it's gonna cost $100 plus taxes.
These cats build, host, and update for just $100 a month.
Oh yeah!
Find out how at 304-250-0123 or at cucumberandcompany.com.
Welcome back to our Communiversity today. Again, we're visiting with Trish Morgan, the new event director for the City of Beckley, to discuss her role and the vision she has for events in the city. Trish, how are you today?
I am great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yes, it is a privilege and honor. You've been on the job for how long?
Since January 26th.
Since January. So it's a privilege and honor to have you on our Communiversity today. You know, as the weather gets better and the sun comes out, it's event time.
It sure is.
Absolutely. So, Trish, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a graduate of Concord University.
We will. Okay, it's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. Good mountain lions, good friends.
Yes, it's been a long time ago. I graduated from there as a non-traditional student. I had 2 daughters and a husband, and I got through college and got my degree in graphic design and marketing.
Okay. And, you know, one of the things, and I do poke fun, and I was just at dinner about 2 weeks ago with the new president of Concord. She's doing a phenomenal job. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't care where you go. I want you to go and grow. And one of the things that you said, Trish, you talked about being a non-traditional student. And I love that because it's not how you start the game, it's how you finish it. But
Absolutely.
tell us about your journey as a non-traditional student.
It was difficult at times, but it just made me persevere even more. I knew that I was wanting to do this, and that no matter what happens, once I have that diploma, nobody can take it away from me. No matter what happens, whether I work in my field or not, and I've done both, it's mine, and I'll have it forever. And it was a big accomplishment for me.
And it should be. And you know, you talked about having children when you were doing your degree. What did that degree attainment do for them?
I think it made them look and see, hey, mom's out here, she's working hard, she's doing both. And I think it gave them both a sense of pride and also to see that if I can do it, they can do it.
Absolutely. And I tell people all the time on the show, it's hard for you to be what you cannot see. And so thank you for being that example for your children. And I'm sure that you've been an example for other people, both directly or indirectly. So I'm all about the journey. You know, it's not how you start the game, it's how you finish. So you go to Concord, you get this marketing and communications degree, and you go out into the world. What do you do?
I continue to learn. I think that's, you get a degree, but it's not the be all end all. It's just the beginning. Again, you're starting on a journey, just like you said. And my journey, was through, I've worked different jobs. I've done just a little bit of everything. I have a son now that gets to see me do what I do now, and be a part of that. And I think it's what you make it. And it is about the journey because we know how we're all going to end up. It is about the journey, and you have to take one day at a time and live life and enjoy it while you go. And
absolutely.
So far with this job, I have enjoyed it very much.
Okay. So prior to coming to this job, what was your previous role?
I worked as the art director for Ace Adventure Resort in
So
Oak Hill.
you have a lot of familiarity with outdoor tourism, the different impact. I was reading a study by Visit Southern West Virginia, $1.7 billion of economic impact. And don't quote me on this number, but I think 343 million was right here in Raleigh County. So that's something to build on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what I want to do is build all of us up and hopefully have something fun for people to do in the process when they do come here to visit.
So let's talk about that. Your new role, you started in January and you think, by far this past winter was one of the absolute worst winters I remember, even from a little boy here in Southern West Virginia, down in the free state of McDowell County. It just was cold. It was continuously cold, and it still gets cold. So, that gave you natural time to move into your role. But what attracted you to this role?
I've watched Jill from afar for a long time. She was my predecessor. It just seemed like a lot of fun, and I felt like I could make a difference and do something, build on what the momentum that she's built up and keep it rolling and grow things, make things, bigger, better, and then have some new things come along that will be fun for everybody. And it's near and dear to my heart. We have things for kids to do, but we don't have things for young adults to do. And I feel like that would be something that I want to explore and help young adults, teenagers, early 20s, have something seriously fun to do.
Yeah, I got to make a shameless plug here. Our producer, Lola Reiser, and I, we work with the Beckley Kids Classic all the time. And not only do we do with Rick the Oreo stacking competition, which Ryan Couch over at WVU Tech is the Oreo stacking champion, along with Karen Ewing up at Pendleton Community Bank. But one of the things we did this last year with the Beckley Kids Classic, we teamed up with the theater downtown. And we gave all the kids in the area a free showing of Minecraft. And so I love the way that we're able to work together with each other, not only through this show, but also through Southern Communications, the City of Beckley, the university. That's what the meaning of Communiversity is. And so I'm thankful that you have embraced that notion. And you talked about doing events and obviously Beckley Kids Classic and that kind of stuff, but you talked about engaging older young people, I guess early teen or late teens, early 20s. Tell me about that vision, that thought.
I have a few ideas that I'm not going to go into yet. I still need to soundboard and talk to some other people, get an idea. But I just think that there's, I worked my previous job for the last 4 years. I worked with youth services, and I worked with kids that, were in trouble, that were struggling, not necessarily in trouble, but just that were struggling. And I feel like that's an underserved community. We could really help kids to have something fun, keep it clean and legal that they can do, come out and have a good time and take part of and participate.
So you said something that I want to hone in on for a second. You talked about having ideas, but wanting a sounding board or to be able to review some of your ideas, some of your thoughts. Is there a formal process that you use to collect that feedback?
We have a committee. The committee works with me and helps me. I sound things off of them to make sure that I'm not going too far out on a limb, and just to help. And really, the committee does a lot of the committee volunteers for me. It takes a lot to put these events on. There's people, it's just simple jobs, but it takes a lot of people to make it work and make it happen.
And so the volunteers is important, but how do you get money for events?
Well, previously we were not allowed to ask for sponsors, but the city puts in money. We have sponsors. We're basically working on a shoestring budget, which is that way with a lot of places where when you're trying to do this kind of work. So it's kind of normal that that's going to happen. But I'm always looking for sponsorships for different things. The next thing coming up is the Bill Withers Festival, and we still need a few sponsors for that.
Yeah, and just how do people go about becoming a sponsor for your events?
Call me.
Okay, and how what's your number?
My number is 304-256-1776.
Again, 304-256-1776. And with Trish Morgan, who serves as the event director for the City of Beckley. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break, so stick with News Talk WWNR for more Our Communiversity Today.
Discover WVU Tech right in your backyard. With 6 ABET accredited engineering programs ranked among the top 100 for engineering and nursing nationwide, WVU Tech offers the best return on investment in West Virginia. Our small, supportive campus is home to high-demand programs in fields like hospitality and culinary, chemical forensics, and the only 4-year construction management degree in West Virginia. Learn more about all the exciting things happening at Tech at wvutech.edu today.
If you want a real cool website, I'll tell you what to do. Call them cats at Cucumber and they'll build a site for you. Our people are so friendly and our updates are the fastest. All it's gonna cost $100 plus taxes.
These cats build, host, and update for just $100 a month.
Oh yeah!
Find out how at 304-250-0123 or at cucumberandcompany.com.
Bank with purpose and Golden Bear pride at Pendleton Community Bank. Our WVU Tech Affinity debit card does more than make purchases. It makes a difference. Every swipe supports the William Bill Benn Student Success Fund, helping WVU Tech students facing financial hardships stay on track to achieve their dreams. Show your school spirit and help shape the future, one transaction at a time. Visit yourbank.bank to get started today. Pendleton Community Bank, here for students, here for community, here for you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Welcome back to Our Communiversity Today. Again, we're in studio with Trish Morgan, who is the new event director for the City of Beckley. Now, Trish, you before we went to break, you had some very interesting things. We talked about volunteers. How does one, and I forgot to ask you, how does one go about signing up to volunteer?
A lot of times it's me begging friends and family to help me. But if someone wants to volunteer, they can call my office at 304-256-1776. I'd love to have the community to come out and volunteer for me.
And this, Trish, is one of the areas where I think we can be very beneficial as WVU Tech. I think you've met with Dan Sepian recently to talk about how the university can participate. How'd that go?
I actually didn't get to speak with him yet.
Okay. So, but
I have plans to.
In that process, what would you like from the university to help you put on events?
Yes, I need volunteers, but just to come out and support the events by participating, being a warm body on the street. We had a car show last weekend. It was a pretty decent turnout, even though it rained us out at the end and we all had to leave. But just having people come out, it was a fun event. I try to have entertainment there, and it just, we had vendors, we had the cars. The cars were awesome. So things like that, it's something to do. And, I don't want to take away from their studies, but they can come out on a Saturday and enjoy the event.
So you talk about something to do. And when I first arrived in Beckley, and I still from time to time hear it, I hear this one notion: there's nothing to do in Beckley. Tell me what your thoughts are when you hear that.
I don't believe that. I think it's really difficult to get the word out a lot of times. We put it on all our social media, which right now we just have Facebook. There's an Instagram floating out there somewhere, but we have to get that nailed down to where I can control it. And, I want to be on other social media platforms to get the word out. Right now, it's really difficult because a lot of people I'm guilty of it myself. They stream their radio. They stream their television.
Hold on. You mean you don't tune into this show every week?
I didn't say that.
So, yeah, they stream television and radio.
Television, and they don't see local things. So it's really difficult. And that to me right now is if I can lay my finger on that one key thing that I can do. In marketing, you're supposed to have your marketing mix, and I do that. And then it's not successful. And the biggest thing I hear is, well, if I'd have known about it, I would have come out. So I want to change that. That's my biggest goal right now. And
so, I don't think mistakes are made in the world. Again, you got a degree in what?
In graphic design and marketing.
My
degree was more in graphic design.
Okay. But still having great graphics to draw people in. So tell me how you'll utilize your formal education to kind of expand the presence of Beckley events.
I think we want to brand things, and that comes directly from the graphics and the words you use. And I think that I'm very strong in those skills. I've learned a lot about marketing. Like I said, after I got my degree, I've learned far more since then. And that was eye-opening. I thought I knew it all when I graduated, and I didn't.
Yeah. And being able to apply those skills and techniques to this area that needs expansion, I think is very good. So now in your brief amount of time in the role, what are 2 or 3 things that you have stumbled upon that surprised you?
I haven't really had any big surprises.
So the other side of that, what are 2 or 3 things that you've stumbled upon that may be great opportunities?
Again, I think that we could do more in the marketing field to get the word out there locally. That is going to be my biggest hurdle.
Yeah. And so how can your Communiversity help you further that message and get that word out?
There's a thing called guerrilla marketing. Having, people, just as simple as passing out flyers just to get people to know about it. The community, letting me put a poster in a window of a business, that always helps. I have the businesses downtown that work with me, but that's about it.
Yeah. Being here and being a neighbor on South Canal Street, one of the things I realized, especially you have population growth out in the Daniels area, that kind of stuff. You have some out migration. You realize to engage with downtown, South Canal Street is not really the main street. You have a bypass, which is Eisenhower. Then they built a bypass to the bypass. Mm-hmm. And then if you look, Route 3 there on South Fayette. So getting people to come on South Canal Street is now more of a chore because you don't pay your water bill downtown anymore. You really don't engage with city services the way you used to, and going into the mayor's office and the annex. So how do we bring people to South Canal Street?
I think it's encourage health and wellness. People need to walk more. My husband walks every month to go pay our bills. He walks uptown to go to the bank to pay the car payments, just because he enjoys that type of activity. But it's park once and then walk through downtown. There's lots of things to see, but it's hard to do it from a car. It's easier if you just park and walk.
So the other thing about downtown, and I'm going to preface this with when I first moved here for 6 months, I have a 3-bedroom apartment above my actual office, lived here, slept here, worked here, played here in downtown Beckley. But you hear some critics talk about how bad downtown is. Tell me your thought on that.
I don't think our downtown is any worse than any other downtown. I just think we need to embrace our downtown and work to promote it so that people want to come down. The homeless population, that's a terrible thing. And advocacy groups that are helping those people, that's a wonderful thing. But I don't think people need to be scared to go downtown or use the bike trail. They just need to be cautious, obviously, but most of the time, I think if you leave people alone, they will leave you alone. But I don't think it's nearly as bad as people let on.
Yeah, I agree with you. And special shout out to Captain Liz and the team at the Salvation Army. They've embraced the Carpenter's Corner and really took things on the other side of Robert C. Byrd. And, when I engage with people downtown, I've found everybody to be respectful and people to be appreciative that you just look them in the eye and say, how are you today? Because, whether you're down on your luck or up in the sky, everybody needs somebody to just smile at them and say, hey, you're important to me. I need you to survive, and not just survive, but thrive. And so I encourage all of our listeners, if you have questions about downtown Beckley, come walk a couple steps. I know the city manager and the chief of police, they do walks around the city every week, and they've invited me to go on the walks. Our schedule hasn't aligned. But if you're worried about safety and security in downtown Beckley, I don't think you have a worry.
I don't. I worked for 4 years at the State Building, and I was in and out at all hours. Sometimes you'd be out at 5 o'clock in the morning to catch a flight to go somewhere. Sometimes you'd be coming in at 11 o'clock at night, and I did not have any problems personally.
Yeah. And I think that's important. And the other thing that we have to always realize is light drives out darkness. And so I think your role is very, very important as an event director because you bring light to Beckley. Okay. And let's talk about some of that light. Let's talk about some things that you're excited about, some events coming up that you may have in mind that, think could get people off their couch and walk in the streets of Beckley.
I've done a lot of research on, what's going to make my job successful. And for a city our size, it's 2 anchor events. And we already have one that's very exciting. Everybody loves Chili Night. That's a lot of fun. And I think if we had a second one, that would solidify my success in this position. But I think the Bill Withers Festival could be another one of those anchor festivals. I'm looking really forward to that one and growing that festival.
Yeah. And, you think about Bill Withers and his contributions to music, his Grammy-winning music, and you think Ain't No Sunshine and Lovely Days and different things. Just to imagine people on the Bill Withers Plaza with the music playing and the vendors set up and the kids running and chasing each other. That's that good old Southern West Virginia hometown feel. A man from Slab Fork that make that transition to the big city of Beckley. That's big things. And so how would we go about making that an anchor event?
Growing the event, and having you have to build the hype. You have to make it a party. If you're going to have a party at your house on the back porch, you got to have all the things. You have to have the music. You have to have the food. You have to have the fun. You have to make it fun. So we can't just throw it all out there and expect it to happen. We have to make it fun and then entice people to, hey, do you want to come and be a part of this?
And I think that's so critical. But you talked earlier about getting younger people engaged. Well, the reality is they may have seen the movie Lean on Me, maybe with Joe Clark or so, But the probability of many of these young people around here knowing Bill Withers versus, Young Jock and Yeezy and all that is very, very slim. So how do you get that young group engaged with Bill Withers?
I think I think Bill Withers is just as cool as those other people you just named. I don't remember the names. I'm not into that kind of thing.
I might not remember them too.
Yeah. But to educate them, to let them know, Bill Withers was the Jay-Z of his day. And he was, and he's fantastic. And like, if you visit the Bill Withers Memorial Park, there's a pole there that has some of his music on it. You can go there, and I see people sitting there listening to the music that's on the pole. We're hopefully going to have a Hall of Fame mural with another kiosk and a pole with some of their music. There's 5 people actually from this area that were pretty famous.
Yeah, and I think that's going up on the state building.
We're hoping. We have to get the permits. We have to get the go-ahead from the engineers at the state, but that's really what we're hoping. And I was a state worker. I went into that building every day, and being an artist at heart, I was like, this building needs something on the side of it. So for that to see it come to fruition is very exciting for me.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, again in studio today, Trish Morgan, who is the event director for the City of Beckley. We're going to take a short break, so stick with News Talk WWNR as we close out this edition of our Communiversity Today.
Discover WVU Tech right in your backyard. With 6 ABET accredited engineering programs ranked among the top 100 for engineering and nursing nationwide, WVU Tech offers the best return on investment in West Virginia. Our small, supportive campus is home to high-demand programs in fields like hospitality and culinary, chemical forensics, and the only 4-year construction management degree in West Virginia. Learn more about all the exciting things happening at Tech at wvutech.edu today.
If you want a real cool website, I'll tell you what to do. Call them cats at Cucumber and they'll build a site for you. Our people are so friendly and our updates are the fastest. All it's gonna cost $100 plus taxes.
These cats build, host, and update for just $100 a month.
Oh yeah!
Find out how at 304-250-0123 or at cucumberandcompany.com.
Bank with purpose and Golden Bear pride. At Pendleton Community Bank, our WVU Tech Affinity debit card does more than make purchases. It makes a difference. Every swipe supports the William Bill Ben Student Success Fund, helping WVU Tech students facing financial hardships stay on track to achieve their dreams. Show your school spirit and help shape the future, one transaction at a time. Visit yourbank.bank to get started today. Pendleton Community Bank, here for students, here for community, here for you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Welcome back to our Communiversity today. Again, I want to thank our guest, Trish Morgan, who is the new event director for the City of Beckley, for not only sharing her time, but also her talent cultivated from her experience at Concord University with our listeners. And it's refreshing to see somebody like Trish come into a new role that is excited about not necessarily what has been, but more importantly, what we can be. You think about having 2 signature anchor events here in the City of Beckley, events that bring people in, like Chili Night, but also expanding festivals is an opportunity for us to showcase who we are, to showcase what we do, but also give our visitors a sense of what we can, shall, and will do for them too. And so I'm so excited with this notion of Communiversity and how the university can work with Trish and our other Communiversity partners like Southern Communication to bring people here to an area to show them the hospitality that makes us true Southerners, but more importantly, to make them see how or why they should want to live, work, play, or raise a family here. So ladies and gentlemen, please visit WWNRradio.com for additional information about events in the City of Beckley and also how you can help build our Communiversity today for a brighter Southern West Virginia tomorrow.
You've been listening to Our Communiversity Today, sponsored by Pendleton Community Bank and Cucumber and Company, a production of West Virginia University Institute of Technology and Communiversity partner, Southern Communications in Beckley. For more on this program and contact information, visit our website at wwnrradio.com.